So when you're like trying to get really good at dating and you're grinding the apps, maybe you're approaching, you've got the balls to, maybe you're going out on your own and nights out like a weirdo, but you've accepted the fact that you've got to be a little bit weird, you've accepted the fact you've got to try really hard. During the grind, you might be wondering if it's all worth it. And I can like empathize with that position of like wondering if like one you'll ever be good enough, having those doubts, but then also wondering if even if you are good enough, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is the effort you're putting in actually going to bear fruit in more with like your happiness and your general like sense of self-worth and all of that stuff? And I want to guarantee to you that it is. Like I want to guarantee to you that the feeling of abundance is really genuinely worth striving for. And you're going to need to take that if you're a complete newbie on faith. And if you're an intermediate guy that's kind of fallen off the wagon, I just want to remind you of how great it feels to have abundance, to no longer have a scarcity mindset with regards to sex and relationships. It's like, I think it's one of the driving reasons why guys get into relationships in the first place. My friends used to refer to it as regular, like you'd be able to have regular sex. That's like the whole point of like at university, the guys chasing relationships is so they would have a regular supply of sex. And there are debates, in society these days as to whether or not getting into a relationship is a good idea, and how like having someone control your sex life, or the amount of sex you have is a good idea. That's like a big red pill talking point. It's even a big talking point amongst guys like Andy who are non-monogamous, and he dates other girls with his girlfriend. Guys who have said they will never accept monogamy as like a state of their being. That feeling though, that whole drive to like make sure that you have a regular supply of sex. When you get to the point where you have a regular supply of sex, you have enough options to always be able to go on dates. You have a few girls that you're seeing and you can hit up pretty much any time and get some sex when you need it. That is worth chasing for. That feeling of abundance in your dating life is 100% worth it. The less stress and anxiety you have, the general just like health benefits you have of having a regular sex life, the extra intimacy you get, and like what it does for your self-worth, your confidence. Like you will strut around the world. People will think you're better looking even though you haven't changed anything. People will think you're more you're more assertive, because you will be acting more assertive when you're not walking around in like a scarcity mindset to all these things. That is what abundance can do for you. It's where the confidence comes from for a lot of guys to kick on to a higher level, is when they start getting that abundance. So yeah, it can do a whole lot for your self-improvement journey. It will do a whole lot for your mental health. It'll do a whole lot for your confidence and your well-being. Abundance is 100% worth chasing. Now, what's the actionable advice for gaining abundance? Very, very simple. Just doing whatever you're doing in the dating grind. So I want you to ramp up your efforts. If you've never really had abundance, I want you to completely double your efforts. I want you to approach twice the amount of girls. I want you to fire off twice the amount of messages online. I want you to spend more time improving your looks and your style of dress, all of that stuff. Just do everything you can to improve yourself and redouble your efforts towards dating, because the abundance mindset is 100% worth gaining. It'll do so, especially if you're like trying to do projects on the side and stuff like that. Just having that safety net of like intimacy and sex is always going to be beneficial to you. And you can do it without jumping into a relationship if you don't want to. All right, guys. Peace out till next time.